How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. And today I want to talk about something I found interesting while I was flipping through the book The Copper Trade by Jay Wakefield. I was flipping through the first few pages of the book because I hadn't read it yet, and I figured I'd give it a good look because I've been meaning to read it. And right away, I found something interesting. It was talking about a guy that had a stone axe head. It was a lugged stone axe head, and it said that his grandfather found it when he was a miner on Isle Royale. Now, this had to have been a while ago because Isle Royale became a national park in 1940 and all mining operations halted in 1855. So it was before 1855 that this gentleman had found these lugged axe heads, and there were three of them. It said that the one axe head was found next to two others. Now, what Jay was talking about in this section of the book was how similar these axe heads were to axe heads found in pre-Columbian Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, and even in Egypt around the same time during the Bronze Age, if not earlier. While these axe heads found on Isle Royale were made of stone, the other axe heads that have been found around the world around the same time, they figure, were made of bronze. Bronze is produced by melting copper and tin and forming an alloy, which is harder than copper on its own and is also stronger and more durable. Producing bronze for the ancient miners in Michigan and the Keweenaw area was something that they hadn't achieved, as far as we're aware, due to the lack of smelting furnaces or any bronze or even tin really found nearby. But that, in my opinion, doesn't mean that they didn't come in contact with these other civilizations around the world, either in South America or even across the ocean in the Mediterranean and into Egypt. So I kept flipping through the book a little more and found some bronze axes that looked oddly similar to the copper axes and wedges that have been found in the Great Lakes region that were made of pure copper but not of bronze, and they're almost identical if you ask me. The shape of the axe heads and the lugs on them found on Isle Royale also extremely similar, if not identical, to axe heads found in Tiwanaku in the Andes region of Bolivia near Lake Titicaca, which also bore the same resemblance as copper and bronze axes found in Egypt. Both civilizations, either South America or Egypt, were worlds apart, but at the same time were smelting copper and tin and making bronze implements in the same shapes as each other. I can't find that as a coincidence. And I know that Jay Wakefield definitely doesn't think this is a coincidence either. He's a huge proponent on the pre-Columbian transatlantic trade during or even prior to the Bronze Age. And he's also one of the voices out there that is pushing for the theory that Michigan's copper fueled the Bronze Age in the Mediterranean and in Egypt even. Now, I'm not fully subscribed to that idea yet, as that Michigan's copper fueled the Bronze Age. It's very good arguments for it, don't get me wrong. But I'm still kind of 50-50 because one of the main arguments against it that I have heard is in the Great Lakes region, or even in North America for that point, in that time frame, there hasn't been any bronze found, at least that I'm aware of. And if there is, please correct me in the comments. Send me any information on that if I am wrong, because as far as I'm aware, I haven't been able to find any solid proof of bronze tools in the Americas. But that's not saying that whoever was mining traded with Bronze Age civilizations, or they sent people over to mine the copper, which bring it back for their own tools. But it does make me wonder why we haven't really found any forges or smelting factories in the Great Lakes region. Now, it could be because of the harsh winters and the weather constantly changing. It's a wet area a lot of the year. That stuff just disappears. Like, we don't have any solid settlements for the miners. We don't have any even human remains or burials that we're aware of from this time period of the Bronze Age. But it doesn't hurt to keep looking. Just because you haven't found it doesn't mean you aren't going to find anything. Just means maybe it hasn't been found yet. Now, as I've said, I do believe there was transatlantic trade during the Bronze Age, or possibly even before. As for the old copper complex in the Great Lakes region, as I've said before, they did not smelt copper and tin to make bronze. They cold pounded and annealed the copper using heat and stone hammers to produce the desired shape or tool from the raw copper itself, which I can't imagine was an easy thing to do in the first place. But I do believe these ancient miners traded with cultures from around the world. Now, we know their trade networks expanded across most of the US, especially in the Midwest and southern regions, as we found tools and other copper implements found in burial mounds and archaeological sites all over the place, from Minnesota to Florida, all over the East Coast, anywhere there's any basically human interaction in the last 10,000 years. At some point, copper implements were found. That being said, I also don't think it's a coincidence that copper was used vastly around the world, from the Middle East to South America to North America, at around the same time. The same can be said about megalithic structures from Peru, Bolivia, all the way to Egypt, Göbekli Tepe, Rapa Nui, or Easter Island, from the largest megalithic blocks quarried all the way down to the nubs. If you know, you know, the nubs. Now, whether it's that, the use and production of bronze, the use of copper as a whole, or even just as minute as the lugged axe heads, I feel the ancient world was a lot more connected than we were ever taught, or might even ever know. But I'm hoping that eventually we can uncover those secrets. It probably won't be in my lifetime. It'd be nice, but there's just so much enshrouded in mystery. But hopefully someday those mysteries will be revealed. I want to thank you for watching. Leave a comment below on your thoughts. As I've always said before, I like to hear and see what everyone else thinks about any of these topics. Even if there's something that you think I should look into or do a video on, look into, do some research on. Lay it on there. Lay it on me. There will be a link in the description for Jay Wakefield's book, The Copper Trade. I had listened to Jay's lecture last year at the Ancient Artifact Preservation Society conference in Harris, Michigan, which is coming up this October. There will be a link for that in the description as well. Go check it out. It's here in the UP. This year's the 20th anniversary. Sounds like they're bringing it back home, keeping it local. If that interests you at all, go check it out. As I said, thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.